All right, baby, welcome to the Dave Portnoy Show with Eddie and Company, presented by Tradezero. Dave, that's what you use to trade.
Big news, Eddie.
What's that?
Patriots just seconds ago released Cam Newton, Mac Jones, our starting quarterback, and the new dynasty has begun.
A new era. That's big.
A new era. I'm excited. I was on Cam. Listen, people who don't get me, here's what I do. I follow Bill, and Bill we trust. What he says goes. When Cam was a starter, I was on Cam. He's gone. Some COVID issues, didn't take the test. And I love it. This is what leaders do. There's some teams, they'll have like a veteran quarterback who's been around the league, red hair, whatever, a new flashy rookie, create controversy in the locker room. Who's the quarterback? People say it divides the locker room. The coach doesn't make a decision. Everyone's in limbo. Flushes the season down the toilet. Other teams with leaders of men at the helm, they avoid it. You have one veteran who's bounced around the league, been there. Is he the guy? He's not going to be the future. No, you say, we're giving it to the kid. This is the future. Let's eliminate any controversy. You cut the veteran, Cam Newton, who, has been around the league and bounced around, and maybe his best years are behind him, and the red, just stuff like that. And you name Mac Jones, Mac to the moon, the starter. That's how you run a team. Some teams don't get that, Eddie. What's your situation there in Chicago?
I mean, we're going to start Dalton. He's probably, Andy Dalton. I mean,
all right. Well, he's good. I'm sure that'll be good.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to trust the best coach of all time.
Tradezero, we'll do the ads, right?
Yeah, Brave. Yeah, come on, Tradezero. Brave.
Tradezero. Everyone knows I use it. It's my go-to platform for the serious and active trader. Here's what's different than other trades: 24/7 live customer service, multi-platform access, trading from 4 a.m. to 8 p.m. Big difference. I can never trade after. And I do have powder again, so I got to buy something. I'm just a little gun-shy right now. Pricing, commission-free, direct market center access, robust inventory for shorting, conditional and range orders, locate sellbacks. Plus, don't forget, all new accounts get 3 months free of Tradezero's flagship pro platform, Zero Pro. Initial account minimum $2,500. Don't just trade Tradezero. Penn, my favorite stock on the stock market, has been making a little comeback. It's about even right now on the day, but it's up about 20%, I feel like, over the last couple of weeks, which is huge. Still way off its highs. Football season is starting, so hopefully that helps. And I don't know if you noticed, Eddie, but some teams name starting quarterbacks. They make bold decisions.
Yeah.
No quarterback controversy in New England. Belichick's, all right, you're not a guy, you're gone. You're gone. I'd hate to be one of those teams that has a guy you're not going to get very far with.
Yeah, it sucks.
He's bounced around. He couldn't win in, Cincinnati or Dallas. And then you draft what everyone's saying is the future, and you don't give him. I love what we're doing. What's your team doing?
Well, we'll see how the two guys end up at the end of their careers, right?
Who?
Our guy versus your guy.
Oh, Mac Jones versus Dalton?
Oh, Justin Fields.
Oh, Fields is your guy.
Yeah.
Is he playing?
He'll be there. Week four. Detroit. Nice
Back
soft landing.
So we're down actually 1%. Fuck. Come on.
Who do you guys open with?
Who do we play opening day? I don't even know. I haven't looked.
There we go.
I still pay zero attention to anything in the preseason, that announcement I do, but it's like I'm still Super Bowl Dave. Like, yeah, we didn't win last year and the year before, but I'm still Super Bowl Dave. Like, I got to pay more attention now because we didn't even make the playoffs. But that was with Cam, who sucks, and COVID and all this jazz. So I'm gonna deposit more money to go to Jersey. I'm bankrupt right now. Bet responsibly, put money in, bet on the Patriots. That's what I'm going to do.
You're going to have to put a big wager down on Mac Jones, Rookie of the Year, right?
100%. And Patriot win total and Patriot Super Bowl.
All right. Well, good luck with that. Big weekend, Dave.
Start with the Dolphins quick. Yeah, big weekend. It was a big weekend.
How you feeling?
I think it went well. I thought it was like one of our best. A lot of people are saying the telecast itself was like better looking for Rough and Rowdy. And I think that maybe was because we were in an arena that had better lighting, maybe. Like, did you notice that?
No, I think we're on a pretty good streak where all Rough and Rowdy's, like the programming has been pretty good. And now with maybe it was the fans that made it look better.
Maybe. Fans are huge. I mean, not just with us, with life. But it was electric in there. Absolutely electric. And there's nothing like fight nights. It was electric in Cleveland. It was electric there. I mean, when Pac-Man came in wearing the helmet, Bobby Lang, who's going to fight him next? Who knows? Like, I think Bobby Lang could beat Jake Paul.
I don't know. I saw your take on the fight afterwards, and I have a hard time with anyone who watched that fight and didn't think that Jake Paul won pretty handily.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. I thought Woodley. I mean, obviously.
By the way,
fourth
that's
round,
not like the. What I just said wasn't necessarily a knock on Jake Paul. It was a compliment to Bobby Lang. Like I wasn't putting it like that wasn't meant to be who won the fight.
Okay, yeah. Oh, okay, that's fair. I don't know, man. Bobby Lang, I mean, he's done 3, and nothing to take away Bobby Lang. I love Bobby Lang. I thought he was awesome on the show last week also. But, 1 minute rounds, like there's.
Sure, that's a fair point.
Like,
but he does train. He doesn't seem to be like gassed. And that is something we got to regroup. I want to do either 5 rounds or extend the rounds, championship fights are better fighters. I get it with like kind of the redneck fights because they either gas out or whatever. But the guys who are actually in the gym really training and there's a lot of money on the line, I'd like to extend these fights. Now,
is that a commission thing or that's just a Rough and Rowdy? How it's
the
always
rules
been?
are changing so much because there's so much more of this type of fighting going on, boxing, that I think you can get away. Originally, I think it was a commission thing.
Okay. But now we might be able to make it
and to
work.
me, even moving the event, I don't know how much I care about moving the event. I think maybe it's a West Virginia only event.
Really? So no Super Bowl type deal?
I mean, we're pay-per-view. It's based on pay-per-view. West Virginia brings great crowds, great fighters. It's where it's from. I think there's no risk involved when you do it there, and there is risk involved a little bit when you move it to areas you haven't been.
Yeah, so what about the buys and everything? Were you happy with that? Have you released that yet?
I think we did about 60,000.
So that's above average, right?
Yeah, it's the second biggest, I think, behind Canseco.
We charged more this one, too.
Yeah, and we charged more.
What was the
It's a
thought
very
behind that?
profitable, good event. I think it's the most, people sometimes, you charge this. Anybody who buys a fight, it's the best value there is.
Dude, that girl fight, $30.
Yeah, easy.
That was unbelievable.
Yeah, that was, and I knew it. I told you earlier, I was like, we're not, hand to God.
He did.
We had like a preview video of all the fights. I'm like, where's the girl fight? That's going to be the best fight of the night. I knew how those girls fought, which is just let's swing it out and see who falls first.
I mean, that girl was getting tagged.
They both were.
I know, it was.
I saw a quote. Somebody said it sums up eating and throwing, eating and throwing. They were just eating and throwing.
That was fight of the night, right? It had to be.
Absolutely. No doubt.
Pac-Man, though, I was super impressed with him. Just him being able to take the loss and him being like, yeah, I'll come back, West Virginia. I was pretty impressed, I'll be honest.
Great event. Everyone was that's how it should be. It was like Dion's screaming for him. I'm screaming for Bobby. But in the end, everyone, it was a great event. And we'd have him back in the second Pac-Man. And obviously, I think the more he trains, the better he gets. But when you're in that ring for the first time, it's hard. Bobby Lang just comes at you, and he's like a bull. And I think I was talking to Dan after, a little bit of like Teddy Atlas said, he's like, boxing's not a normal thing. It's not what your body's trained. Like if someone comes at you, like a lot of times you're just trained, I'm going to back up and I'm not going to throw. And that's to Bobby's like advantage. You maybe like, I think when Bobby came at you, if someone like was talented enough and could do it, and Pac-Man's obviously athletic, like step forward and fucking hit him when he's coming forward, that changes the fight. But Bobby just bullied him.
Yeah, and I mean, talking about, the champ, that was Rocky going into Russia.
It's big time.
Had everything against him.
Yep. And he had like no entourage, no nothing. He's just focused. I haven't talked to him after, but it was good for him. It's a $50,000 payday for him.
And he was the one, it was interesting, he was the one that asked to run it back. Usually it's the opposite. I don't know if he did that. He was probably caught in the moment.
No, he'd run it back. I mean, he's like a classy guy. Like it's hard not to like Bobby Lang.
Is that your plans? Like, do you think that should be the first one, or do you got anything else?
Rematch? If they wanted it, I would do it. Dion was there. He's like, I got a list of guys who want to fight in this thing. So
did he give you?
I know on
that
BFFs
list?
we have, which I'm recording after that, Bryce Hall. I know he wants to talk about the fights. I think Bryce Hall is a possibility to fight on our platform because the way we do the pay-per-view, you can't get screwed. Like, well, I guess you could if you don't do the buys, but we've proven that people buy our shit, so he could make a ton of money. I mean, Canseco made $1 million cash in 2 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised he'd go back to the well, but I mean, I assume.
Well, he didn't get paid.
Yeah.
The question I have with Bryce Hall, and I'll talk to him, it's like, do people care as much knowing that he got destroyed? For me, as a boxing person, like, knowing somebody got destroyed to take the bloom off the rose a little bit.
Yeah. No,
but that may
you're right.
not be true in TikTok world.
You're right. Did you consider making the stop off in Saratoga to see Cross Border?
I wanted to. I just had no chance. Like, we were in, like, I watched Cross Border at the weigh-in. We had stuff all day Saturday, all day Sunday. Like, weigh-ins, walkthroughs, rehearsals, that stuff.
You said it was a weird race for him.
He's usually on the lead or near it. He wasn't. And then he was wide. He didn't tuck in. I thought the horse ran his heart out like he always. I mean, my man, I'm pulling it up right now. My man that I'm talking to right now. The guy, Eddie, sends me a picture of $15 bet.
No, it was a $90 box.
$15 box. So how much does that bet to cost? $90 bet. This is right after Cross Border. Wish he could have won, but Cross Border saved my ass at the end. He won $1,000.
That's a nice hit.
This is $1 million race that my horse that I own is in. I had like $5,000 on him to win. Never mind that, but it's $1 million race. I own 25% of the horse. He texts me 5 seconds after over. Wish you would have won, but Cross Border saved my ass at the end. I replied, makes me feel better at least. Not. Like, what a thing to text.
I just had to let you know. I was like, someone was happy, you know?
Good. Happy for you, Eddie. Did you see Elio's horse that ate the horse? That was hilarious.
So I was tailing him all day, and he was horrible. And then he had that one, and it was like a 6-1, 8-1-ish, and it was right there.
Oh, no, it won. That horse would have won if he didn't do that.
What the fuck was that?
Elio called me. He couldn't even talk. He was so upset. He was speaking like gibberish.
It was horrible.
He's like, he ate the horse. I'm like, what? Slow down. What's happening? Are you okay? He ate me. He ate the horse. I'm like, what?
It was horrible. How does that happen? That's like worse than the fucking horse that was at the highway last week.
He won, though. Huge one late, right?
Elio did? I stopped after the Travers.
I thought he won at 25-1.
Did he?
I thought I saw him say that. I don't know. I was caught up. I was betting. I lost all my money that I put in. I was betting it remotely. There was a nice article, though. Did you see the article on me?
I did see it. Well, I didn't get a chance to read it, though. You said it was fair, though. You
really doing your research, huh? I guarantee you if this is a mean hit piece, you would have been, what about this? What about it was a complimentary article. Suddenly you didn't read it.
No. I clicked on it, and it was like a subscription thing. I didn't get.
No, it wasn't. No, untrue.
I got the ad blocker. That's what I'm looking for.
It's very, very much not an ad that looks pretty easy to read.
Well, tell me about the article, Dave.
It's just nice. It was fair. Maybe you can read it one day.
All right. All right, I'll read it. Your dad called me. We were talking. Eddie, will you place $200 on Cross Border? I will mail you a check. So I made a nice.
What sucks is that what race was a win and you're in. So if he won that, he would have been in the Breeders' Cup.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That sucks.
That does suck.
I had a try though.
Yeah, you won $1,000. $1 million race. 4-1 shot at Saratoga. I may never have that again. There was a tiny bit that was like relieved because I would have been devastated not being able to be there.
Yeah, that would have been a tough winner circle to miss out on.
Yes.
All right, so then Showtime. The atmosphere you said was awesome, huh? Cleveland. I mean, those cities get up for shit like that.
Electric. And it was like, I don't know, 60-40 cheering for Woodley.
It sounded like they were not with Jake Paul.
Jake Paul is the Pauls are absolutely polarizing, even in their own home city.
What did you find?
Dave Chappelle is he from Cleveland?
I don't know. He might be from Ohio. He was cheering for Jake Paul.
Yeah.
Big guy.
Yeah. It was an electric atmosphere.
Yeah, he's a big Ohio guy. He lives there year round.
It was electric.
What'd
you think
what
of
was
us?
that robot?
What'd
Was
you
there
think of
someone
me
in
and
that
Dan?
robot suit?
There is somebody in the robot suit, yeah.
That thing was nuts.
We have his info if we ever want to build a robot.
Wow.
We were in Jake's locker room before the fight because they didn't really give us a locker room, Dan and I. We were like put in the makeup room. So we just went and sat in Jake Paul's locker room till Jake showed up, and the robot guy was there freaking out trying to like fix the robot. The robot had like soldering issues. The guy who made it's a mad scientist. He's brilliant.
Really?
Yeah.
So,
No. They've been dating for a while, or on off, but yeah. I saw her on the big screen at one point, yeah.
how did
What'd
that
you think of
deal go
me
down?
and Dan? What?
How did that deal go down? Like we paid to be the
Showtime?
sponsor? Yeah. You know how? Like,
So
how did
I
it-
know Nikisa, who was like sitting with Jake during the post game. I've known him for a long time. He was at UFC. We actually met, Eric and I, with Nikisa, Fertitas. There was interest in them buying Barstool at one point. Didn't happen, obviously. They were one of the few groups that I actually was super impressed by. And if the numbers and the terms were right, I would have felt comfortable doing that deal. This is before, obviously, the gambling things changed. This is before that. We met with him in Vegas. So I've known Nikisa now for a while. And I've obviously known the Pauls for a while. And I know, actually, Woodley's camp, too. So, and Tyron is like a great guy. So they approached, hey, would you ever be interested in being involved? It was super expensive. I'm not going to say the number, but the sponsorship was very expensive. Obviously, full sponsorship. And my thing is like, we're not interested in just ads and banners. Like, we want something unique. We got to be part of the broadcast. And we came up with this structure to do it. Why we generally don't spend like this? It was a test to see how it would do, and I think we're still figuring out signups, results, things like that. And we don't advertise on NFL. We're not even allowed to. So the timing of it is right before the NFL season. We're not going to be spending on NFL. So it's like, all right, this is the only event that we think will be big before the NFL. So all those factors made it. We actually played a factor in the date in cities because we wouldn't do it a week earlier, and they originally wanted to. It's like the only way we can sponsor it is if it's like it's got to be this weekend or that's it.
Oh, so this is like a big.
It was a big
thing
sponsor. I mean, we're a center ring. Both
Yeah.
guys had us on the thing. And they did a great job, including like the Barstool Sports book. It wasn't like they took our check and didn't do anything. They did everything. So I'm happy with the integration. I think Dan and I, what we did, like we ran a gambling show on it. That's perfect for what we do. I never thought the dollars would add up to how many signups. We knew that, but it's like we'll see if we can track the lasting. And it's really the first ad we've bought.
Yeah, it's hard
outside of like us, promoting it ourselves.
Yeah, it's hard to equate. You could equate how many people signed up, how many people took the boost, the plus 150, whatever, but it's hard to equate how many people saw. Because, I mean, it was on Woodley's, it was on the ring, it was on Woodley's gear, it was
on
you guys had your
Jake's
set.
gear. It really was everywhere. And it's always with this stuff. It's like even though we're promoting it, you can go bet it anywhere. So we'll see. It was a big night of gambling, but it may have been a big night of gambling regardless of us being involved. What's the extra lift? It's hard to tell. But I do think there's probably a lot of people, or at least a decent amount, I think, who maybe found out who we were, maybe. I don't know. It's hard to tell.
And to answer your question, since Eddie won't give you guys credit, you guys were awesome, actually. I actually thought you guys had it, like, really together. Like, you guys, when you guys do your shows, like, you guys, like, bounce around. Like, you guys were very, like, succinct with it. You had, like, nailed, like, a bunch of jokes that I don't know if you, like, were thinking in pre-game. But it was, like, very, I don't know, it just seemed very professional.
Well, Dan,
but also very funny.
If Dan and I can't do that at this point, we've been doing it now for 2 decades, but we actually, they make us go through the rehearsal, and we're actually, fighting's not the right word, but we're just going back and forth because Dan and I didn't want to tell each other what we were going to say or what we're going to do. And they're like, you guys can go longer. You can. It's like, no, we don't give our info to each other. Like, we legitimately, Dan and I, had no idea what we were betting. But as the night wore on, we both got all our info from Large. Large wrote like an extensive recap, and we both read it, and that's why everything was the same. I finally, after we had the same 3 bets, the first 3, I looked and I go, did you just read Large's article? He's like, yeah, why? You? I'm like, yep, that's why we're locked. Like, I changed my picks based on fucking Large. Everyone's like, how can you lose? We were picking favorites and losing. We were like minus 160, minus 170. I was 1-9. I lost 100,000 of my own money. Not great.
Bro, that's the same. I mean, you see someone who knows what they're doing, you just follow Large. So that's what I've done that before with boxing cards.
Not good. It didn't work.
No, I thought you were good, Gaz. I wasn't necessarily not saying anything. I was just wanting to see how he thought he did. I thought the set was fine too.
Yeah, it looked in hindsight it worked out because we were losing all our money, but it looked like they just forgot. It looked great from the front, but then on TV I could see they should have just put something over the wood. I don't know why they didn't do that.
Yeah.
But so I mean, they asked us, showed us pictures. To be honest, I don't know why, and maybe one day they will. Like, that was a paid ad. Like, Showtime wasn't like, hey, we love you guys, come be part of this broadcast. That wasn't it. Like, we paid, and we're like, we're not doing it unless this is part of it. And they're fine with it because they knew us. But it's crazy to me that we don't get paid or do it like as a trade. Like, I would never pay. It's like, okay, do you want us part of it or not? In fact, I would go as far to say, now, we paid more than we drive probably now that I'm thinking about it, but like an alternate broadcast. Like, why wouldn't Showtime just let me and Dan do the play-by-play, like our Rough and Rowdy style? And you have the choice when you buy it to listen to us or the main broadcast. It's all on Showtime. They get all the money.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I saw like some of those guys like Brendan Schwab were doing a fight companion thing. I don't know if they got paid for that or not, but I mean, you don't need their rights to do that. But
what did you think, Eddie? You haven't answered.
No, I thought it was good. I thought
you weren't that
I have a hard time like Rough and Rowdy's one thing because it's 1 minute rounds and it's the people are characters, and so I have a hard time watching some boxing when I don't really know who the people are. But I thought it's from a broadcast perspective. I thought you guys did great. I mean, it was like just the noise pumped in and everything. It was pretty cool to see you guys at the desk. It seemed very real. It was cool. I thought you guys did.
And it's crazy because you don't have broadcasters. People are just fucking screaming at us. Like, you could tell the Showtime people are like, oh, this is a little weird. Like, just screaming at us to get our attention the entire night. Like, screaming, like waving, like broadcasters generally don't have that, like the Stooley effect, where people are just screaming at us. And so I don't wear an IFB or whatever that's called. I had to wear that, one ear's open, and people are just screaming at us.
How was Helwani?
Nice. He said he has no problem with Robbie. I think he's good at his job. He's a different cat than we are. He's more serious than we are. But he was nice. Everybody was super nice.
That's good then. So you would do it again, given if the money was right and everything.
Yeah, I mean it's all a money thing. I actually texted Jay just before we got on the show to be like, what are your thoughts?
Mm-hmm. What about the night before? How was the nightclub? I saw there was a red shot, pot shots going on there too.
That's the first time I've been to Dante's spot. It was FDR, FWD.
Yeah, forward.
That's quite a fucking place he's got there.
It's cool, right?
I don't know what I was expecting, but it was like an outdoor rave.
Yeah, and then there was like trains going by and shit.
Yeah, it's a cool spot. Really cool. I had never heard of Two Friends. That's just frat music. I was doing what they were doing. They're White Panda. Like, who was there was White Panda. It's like two DJs, not in costume. That's the only difference. But just playing, like, frat music. That frat basement music.
Who was at your table? What was your crew? You had, I saw Logan was there. Brianna was in town or something?
Yeah, Bree was there. Pretty funny story. So, somebody came up to me. I just went with Dante. Me, Dante, Dan, and Spider went to dinner, and then they didn't go out. I went with Dante. Dante had a table for me and him. I saw Logan, who I'm fairly friendly with, and he came over, and he's, I don't even know if he does know how big he is, but he doesn't. He almost, it's hard to describe. He's very deferential in a nice way to me. He's super nice. But once he came over, that table got overrun. Fucking girls shit everywhere. So I went to the front. Dante's wanting to get a little quieter spot. I was yeah. His quiet spot was actually on the stage, so it was just me and him sat there on the stage. And Bree was there. She was doing her tailgate tour. Somebody came up, and they're yeah, Bree, Rhea, they're in the back. Rhea's with her boyfriend. I'm what? And they're yeah, Rhea's with her boyfriend. It's Rhea has a boyfriend? And they're yeah, he's got a mustache. I fucking text Dan, who didn't come. I'm Rhea has a new boyfriend? They're here? He's what? I was making myself, big. I'm all right, this is, I love Rhea, but it's a little quick to be fucking having a boyfriend after Hank. It was a miscommunication. It was fucking Bree with her boyfriend. I saw Bree's boyfriend first. He's got the mustache. I'm this motherfucker. He's a good-looking guy, Bree's boyfriend. And then it's no, this is, and I settled back down.
You were ready to see what
I was ready to go to war for Hank. Rhea, I don't care if you have a boyfriend. It better not be public yet. You fucking cup of coffee.
Wow. I mean, no to Rhea. Don't get a
That's
boyfriend.
That's a warning. That's just common sense. I haven't told her yet. Or don't bring her to she can't be at where I am at a Barstool. No. Why are you in Cleveland with your boyfriend? Get out of here. And I love Rhea, but no, I'm not ready for that.
Some poor guy with a mustache had a target on his back for a couple minutes there.
Yep.
Let's talk about nuts.com, Dave. You love.
Yeah. If I was in Montauk, I'm working my way through that pistachio bag that they sent me, and they somehow aren't stale. Credit to them. I've had that thing all summer. I've eaten probably 10,000 pistachios. They're very good. New nuts.com customers get free shipping on your first order when you text Dave to 64-000. Do you have to do the dash?
64,000, Dave. 64,000.
And if you know me, I don't endorse bad nuts. It's one of my pet peeves. That's why I freaked out they weren't advertising. Wonderful pistachios, if you eat those, you're trash. If you have those in a spread, you're trash. If you know anything about pistachios, Wonderful's trash. These are not. These are very good. I've eaten the whole fucking bag. And there's thousands and thousands. If we have the picture of the bag, I have probably 1/10 of it left. It's the best kept secret of savvy snackers across the country. They have all sorts. I stick with the basic cashews, pistachios, but they have white chocolate toffee cashews, bourbon pecans. They got them all. It's not just for nuts either. One-stop online pantry shop. They got everything. So, again, it's 64,000. That's what you got to put in. New nuts.com customers get free shipping on your first order when you text Dave to 64,000. New nuts.com customers free shipping first order when you text Dave 64,000. So text Dave to 64,000 to get free shipping on your first order of nuts.com. That's Dave 64,000. Terms apply. Available at nuts.com/terms.
There we go. And then also, while we're on the gambling front here, ESPN said they're looking for $3 billion. It was reported for their sports betting model. So whoever wants to be their partner. I don't know.
I feel like I'm talking too much and running out of breath. I like when I see this. $3 billion to license the name. I hope that deal gets done because our stock should go through the roof when that does. $3 billion to rent ESPN's name. What do you get? I mean, ESPN. I'm not downplaying how big they are and things like that, but if people don't care about gambling and don't actually gamble, it's hard to be authentic to gambling. For example, I had Nebraska over, and the idiot kicker misses an extra point that cost me the over with like 2 minutes to go. Dan and I were at the weigh-in and had this live, the reaction. I'm watching the highlights, and after the game, they're breaking it down, and they show the Nebraska touchdown to cut it to 8, and they're like, and they missed the extra point. No mention of the total. None. Go! You're going to go spend $3 billion for that you don't mention one of them. That loss will be one of the worst I have all season.
Yeah, I don't know, because that's all it would be, right? It would just be like on their graphics package they would have.
I'm sure they're going to try to make it more content, but it's like hard to do. It's hard to find those people.
It's a tough space too, man. Like I don't, I would be interested to see what were Barstool Sports was responsible for new gamblers. You know what I mean? Like getting like our younger crowd into gambling for the first time.
And it's also like there's an article, I think now, it's crazy. The NFL calls it first their exclusive relationship with sportsbooks, then a exclusive, and now 7. The NFL, God bless them if you can do it, are charging sportsbooks for the right to buy ads during their games. Think about that. You have to pay to pay. We're like the only ones not doing it. That's why we did the fight. Because, yeah, it could help a little bit, but if every ad is just a different sports book, do any of them resonate?
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. I don't know why you don't look at that and see. I mean, maybe if you're new, but that's all you're getting. Like, if you're an actual gambler, like, you look at the lines, you shop around, you see who's got that. I don't,
and those people will never change. Like, there's always going to be line shoppers. There's going to be syndicates that game the system, promos. They're always going to change. We have, at this point, as we're getting more info, 7 to 12% that just play with us because we're unique. The promos, they're fans. They want to be in the experience. Other than that, listen, if someone's offering a 2-point better line or a free 10 grand bet, like that, I don't care how much you like us. Those people but they're going to flip back and forth. But the thing is, they're never going to be loyal. So if you stop advertising and doing those offers, they're just going to go away. And we're the only company right now on the sportsbook side that is sustainable. We're not just throwing money out the window. That's why when people ask me, I always say it's kind of a race to the bottom. A lot of these companies just aren't going to be able to survive. We will, and we'll be in a great position.
Also said the Win is going to spend $100 million this year in.
They probably spent $50 million to have Ben Affleck make a commercial. It's crazy.
But then I don't know though. BetMGM, they seem like they're doing decent with Jamie Foxx. So.
But is it Jamie And again, it varies state to state. Yeah, I'm like lightheaded. It varies state to state, but like in Michigan, I underestimate. They have the best casino there. They have a monster casino. That's a huge database, and that's why they're so good in Michigan. And you don't know about VIPs. I've heard rumors like Floyd Mayweather plays with MGM in Michigan. I don't know if that's true, but if he does, that he can be like half your fucking monthly total.
Yeah, he's betting whoppers.
Yeah. Who knows?
So is Arizona officially live or no?
It's not officially live, but you can't bet yet, but we can mark it and you can sign up. So what we got in Arizona, you unlock it, 400. You got to bet this before 9/11. You get the Arizona Titans over. That must be week 1. The Suns over win total. Arizona Cardinals over win total. Arizona State over win total. So if you deposit before 9/11, you get all those for free $100 bets. It does not affect your $1,000 first risk-free bet. So you got to deposit before 9/11 in Arizona. And then I believe the date it goes live is the 12th maybe.
So coming up.
Yes. Yep.
Coming up. So
we're live in AZ.
Download the app in AZ. All right, let's bring in our guest for today, Stu Feiner. Before Stu gets in, though, Dave, let's talk about Sliq. Did you go to the pop-up, the Borelli pop-up?
I did. It was packed. It was a great thing. And did I tell you, I got some equity in Slice.
Yep.
I'm now with Slice, and I got to still do the emergency, but we've worked with them forever, and there's only a handful of things I'd ever be I'm willing to put my face on, be a partnership with. Obviously, it's pizza. The way they explained it to me, which I think I explained last time, they're just trying to make or help pizza places keep more of the profit. because Grubhub, and they're actually at one of these places getting sued for like taking too much from the restaurants. But Grubhub, DoorDash, all these people, they're not good for the pizza business. On top of that, like Domino's, if you get a franchise Domino's, you have an advantage because they give you the software, the technology, you can predict, like you know how many pizzas you're going to sell every day at a time, dough, call center. Slice has all this. They give it to an individual pizzeria for free, and all they ask is use Slice for people to order their pizza, and they take less of a cut. It's a no-brainer for pizza places. Some of these guys are old school, so it's like, oh, we don't trust this. So that's like where I come in because the pizza industry does trust me because I've been doing it for so long. So I'm in with Slice now. Download it. Use the code Dave, $3 off your first app order. It's all about supporting local pizzerias, putting more money in their pocket. If you're a pizzeria owner and you want to have a conversation with them about what I'm talking about in terms of they'll help with the call center, automation, everything. It basically you get everything that Domino's place would get for free. You don't have to do the franchise tag. Join Slice, get Portnoy promotional pricing. What that means is no fees on when people order. So you're even making more. They do have an email, I think. Where's the email that they sent? It is, I remember it. It's portnoy@slicelife.com. So send them an email if you're a local pizzeria and interested. portnoy@slicelife.com. Use a promo code for end users. Use promo code Dave for $3 off your first app order.
Go get Slice. All right, there he is in studio. Stu Feiner, 1 week before the NFL season.
This is interesting timing by you, Eddie, because it's like I'm about to have a lot of Stu Feiner in my life.
I know. That's why I
pleasure.
wanted to have Stu on because I knew once football came on, you'd be full of Stu. So
Yes. So it's a good opening. Hello, Eddie. I love you. And you look fabulous in the new office, by the way.
Thank you,
You're out
Stu.
of the witness protection program, obviously.
Thank you.
And then
Stu.
I love the new desk. Is that poker desk your normal desk, or that was a prop?
No, that's my normal desk. I had them send it
That's
over.
that's
from
an
a
awesome
casino.
desk.
Eddie, who are those girls you were with?
So they're the street team. They're
they're very pretty good.
Oh,
When do they
gorgeous.
start?
They started last week, actually. They've already been out. This past weekend was the first time they were out in the wild. So we have a meeting today to see how it went.
Where'd they go?
I think they were in Michigan.
Okay. How many do we have?
8 right now. We're going to hire 2 more.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what do they do? Just walk around and
Try to
promote
get
Barstool?
signups. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
For
Very
the
nice.
sports book.
Very nice.
They'll be with you guys in Michigan when you, I don't know if you're going to announce that.
Michigan, Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll be there.
And a fabulous job, Dave, on everything this weekend. It was
Thank you.
it was unbelievable.
A
I mean,
lot nicer than Eddie was.
what?
Eddie didn't think it was that good.
You didn't think I did was good?
No, he's talking shit. I did not say
Oh,
that,
okay.
Stu.
Listen,
didn't say it was
I
good.
watched every second of everything, and I thought it was phenomenal.
Thank
I
you.
thought every fight was great, by the way. Every fight in Rough and Rowdy was great, and every fight on Showtime was great. You know,
Oh,
I loved him.
The Fury fight was terrible.
Did you? Well, listen. I mean, he's Tyson Fury's brother.
Yeah.
I loved it. I mean,
Really?
listen, it's
he's a
very-
male model, but he's
But it's,
not
it's
a
listen,
he's not
it
fighter.
is so hard to box. When
Yeah.
I was training for Rough and Rowdy before I got hurt, you go in a ring. You
No,
just,
I don't doubt that.
No, it's impossible to throw a punch.
But you expect more because he is, granted, his half brother. But I mean, Tyson Fury is like the best boxer in the world.
yeah, but it doesn't matter. That I mean, it takes decades to throw punches properly.
I thought that fight sucked, but
But like you said, he is so good looking.
yeah. All right, he's
oh
one
my
of the best
God,
looking guys ever.
ever,
Stunningly good looking.
ever.
The guy.
Oh no, it was embarrassing.
The guy he fought was lifetime 0-1. I will say Logan Paul too. He talks so much. I like Logan. He's 0-1 lifetime too. I think the Mayweather didn't count on the broadcast. He said with a straight face he retired Floyd Mayweather. The guy he was talking to, Brian Custer, didn't call him out on it. I was like, Brian, how do you keep a straight face when he said that?
He's a good talker. He's a good pumper. I
Logan?
like him. Yeah.
Logan and Jake are like the best to ever do it.
Oh no, they're amazing.
The best to
You
ever
just
do
gotta
it.
love 'em.
I honestly believe that they're the best. I mean, maybe if you take like Connor on the mic, but for two guys that aren't from that world, it happened. But the fact that Jake Paul sells that arena, sells out an NBA arena in Cleveland,
Oh, it's phenomenal.
There is no words to how brilliant you have to be to do that.
No, you take for granted how
Yeah.
great they are.
Yeah.
You think it's easy to do. It's impossible to do.
And that's why everyone talks about, will this be like a future thing? Is this more of it? Like Jake Paul and Logan Paul, they don't grow on trees. Like, you have to be good enough fighter, which he is, but then a self-promoter like he is. I mean, that's a very difficult package.
Oh, listen, when he took that right hand from Woodley,
Yeah.
that would have knocked out 90% of the people.
100%. Yeah, no,
Through
he's
the ring,
yeah.
dead.
Yep, no doubt.
I also like that they're starting to change some of the shit to Sundays. I think that's smart too.
Well, I mean, they're certainly probably not going to do that when there's NFL going on.
Sure.
Made sense, maybe not. I personally like the Saturday. I don't love Sunday, but because it's, fight's over, it's super late, people going to bed. I prefer Saturday.
For a
WrestleMania,
but I'm saying, like, to compete
doesn't wrestling
wise.
do Sunday?
Yes, they do, but now they're switching up their model too. I think next year SummerSlam's on a Monday, so they're like everything's changing. Kind of,
Interesting.
it seems.
Yeah, I guess you tinker to see what you get the most traction with.
So what's going on? I want to say a common question that I get emailed to me for this show is, does Dave hate Stu?
No, I don't hate Stu. I love Stu, but I can only take at time Stu in doses. And we also have it. So I've always liked Stu. Like, here's like, I was the one who started. I was a Stu super fan as a kid. Like, I watched him every Sunday. So how he came back in our life is, I think I just started putting his old videos, which I was aware of, in my picks when I'd give my pick and I'd put a clip on old YouTube. And I talked about him a decent amount. And then I think Dan saw it, and Dan was familiar, and Dan brought him in, I think, on PMT. I think that's how it happened. And then we connected. So I'm always a Stu fan, but Stu's always on. And it's a lot. I'm running around doing a lot of things, but I love Stu. And if we're being candid, we may have this at one point, and it happens with a lot of different things here. We love, but we were trying to, like, negotiate beyond just advisors, like how to go. And he, in my mind, and he'll say probably the opposite, he was delusional with how much money he wanted. I don't think he has any idea how much we made here. But
I was wrong. No. You know what it is? And I ran a multi-million-dollar business, not as big as yours, but in the 90s, I was number one. I took for granted my worth. I think that I'm worth $1 million a year. If someone's going to work, I haven't worked for someone since 1981. So when I hit you with, hey, Dave, I got to get $1 million.
Yes.
I'm not, I can't work for someone for under $20,000 a week. There's just no way.
Right.
So in other words, but you put me in my place. You said, Stu, you're 60 years old. I can get 5 people to do what you do. You might not think they're as good as you, but I do. So
and I don't believe Stu's the best. He's got the they're one in that there aren't. There are very few that do what he does. He fits in perfectly and meshes. In addition, his relationship with us, to me, was a little different because it's not, we're not solely getting the benefit of Stu being on our show, because Stu still has his business, which hopefully is being helped by it. So it's like a weird version of an infomercial for Stu. That's how I viewed it. So we did talk a little negotiations and things like that, but I've always liked Stu, but it's not just a Stu. I can only take Rico there's a lot of people here. I don't hang out with anybody here. So do I want to go, like to barbecues, and maybe one day I'll get there. But no, I've always liked Stu. But Stu's a lot. He walks in, plants a huge fucking kiss on my head. That's generally, that's just Stu being Stu, but I can't take that every day.
No, and I totally understand that. Look, you're an icon. There's a lot on your plate. Listen, when I see you the first time at the show, I literally get nervous because I see what you have to do. I see your schedule. People think it's easy, building $1 billion business like you did. You work 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. You have an actual schedule where you got to perform. You go from Sports Advisors, you got to Pick Central, you go to other shows, you go to Miami. So in other words, when I come in, I love you so much that I am always on. Like when I see you, I go from a 1 to a 50. So it is a little overwhelming. In other words, it's the first thing in the morning, and you can't handle me. Absolutely.
Well, I can handle them. It's just I hate.
No, it's just too much. But but I could never get enough of you. I would want to hang with you every day.
I believe that.
But the key would be I'm not on every day.
Right.
Like if we hung out, we had dinner. You bring Sandy, bring Sil, we hang out. I'm not on. I'm hanging out. I'm
By the
relaxing.
way, I don't know if Hank's doing it. I heard some wild version of a commercial was pitched to me.
Oh, we got something good today.
Did you hear about this?
Oh, I'm dreaming about it. You kidding me? See, I went to sleep and that was my dream. You went to sleep and it was your nightmare. Phenomenal. And let me just say something, Eddie. All the success that Dave has, I just relish in it because I feel part of it.
And you are. There's no doubt.
I feel part of it because I've been with this journey all along. When he called me under an assumed name in 2007 and did an interview with me, in other words, it was fabulous. And I love everyone here. Now, not only do I love you and I would die for you and I'd give my life for you.
I actually do believe him.
Anything besides my wife's pussy, you got. In a hot second, in a moment. Because, of course it's illegal, but I've seen you and you're never going to her pussy. You know what I'm saying? It'd be the last time she fucked me, and that's not happening. But barring my wife's pussy, you got everything I own. At a moment's notice, I go to jail for you. And I told you that first time I met you.
I know.
I have people ready to kill for you, and they'll do a bid for you. They'll do a stint, and they'll never rat. So so my love for you, for your company, and the respect and what you've done for me is, immeasurable. No one could have, listen, no one touched me. I was like a piranha with the social media, with media in general, and with people. You were the only person that stepped up and had my back. You were the only person that said, fuck his past. I know who Stu is. I watch Stu. And you put me, in an A-plus position where no one could have done what you did for me. Money couldn't have done it. You could have spent $5 million on promoting Stu Feiner, and it wouldn't have done what you did for me, just accepting me into your life. So, forever I'm yours.
Right.
Just so you know.
Yeah,
that.
no, and so to answer your question, everything that my reactions on the show or whatever, they're genuine. It's like, oh, Stu, he's like wearing the same suit, he's kissing me, he's ruining my suits. That's all real, but I like Stu. There's no and even that simmering. There's very few people, and Stu's he's never been close to the people who truly I don't like. No, I don't like them. I won't talk to him. He would never be sitting here. If he wouldn't be on the show. The people that I truly do not like, I just don't even associate with. Maybe once in a while I'll say hello to Smitty. But no, I'm dead serious. And most of it's gone here. But I mean, there was a phase probably where I'm not uncomfortable. The biggest transition with Barstool, and this is a Stu thing, is going from Milton to where you can say whatever the fuck you want to anybody, and nobody's gonna freak out, and it's just kind of busting balls, and people get over things quick. As we've grown, that environment hasn't totally stayed, but it's getting back there. The people that I'm around, most of it, I'm pretty comfortable reaming them out to the fullest of my ability. And that generally means I'm comfortable with you and like you.
Right, exactly. I have no problem when you say to me, Stu, I hate you.
Right.
Because when you say to me, I hate you, let me tell you, Eddie, when Dave says to me, I hate you, what he's saying to me is, Stu, I love you, but this is a sports gambling show. We don't care about every moment of your life. This is not the Stu Feiner Variety Hour, where I would like Sports Advisors to be 2 hours. I want me and Dave to schmooze for a half hour. I want to know what's going on in his life, and then I want to talk to Big Cat. I want to hear what's going on with Hannah, Tommy, and then maybe we'll get to some picks.
And things are always changing and revolving. It's not my own company. I can't just, one of the things that in my seat, and I think I'm one of probably the only few that do it in terms of I'm fully content, but I'm also very much business. We don't just sling. I can't just be yep, contract this, that. Things are approved. I can push through it. But for example, and this is sort of breaking, Hannah, I think is done, Weather Girl, like we gave her a full-time contract. Why? Because she's becoming very good at golf. Like, I don't mean like she's shooting fucking under par, but she's golfing every day. She takes it serious. She's attractive, and there's something we can do with that with the classic and foreplay. And like, I can see her becoming a personality in that field. So she's going to do and she's wanted a job. Hannah has wanted a full-time job here for years. And it's like, what else are you going to do besides advisors? Like, I can't hire you just because you do the weather. Like, we pay you each week to come in and do your thing, but that's not a full-time job. I wish I could. And she'd do a podcast test, and I'd send it to Gaz. Nope, nothing there. I can't just hire you. The golf, which she's done on her own for, I don't know, feels like close to a year. Talk to Riggs, like, how is she at the Classic? She's great. Guys want to watch. Her swing's good. Like that, I'm psyched when I told her, like, hey, we can hire you. Like, you've created a lane for yourself. It's the same with anybody. It would be the same with Stu. I tried to tell you when we talked, I'm like, here's what I think would work. It was like the highlights thing. Like getting watched because you watch the games. So I wish. And again, Stu is a little different because he has his whole, at least I view different. Like, you have a whole business, which hopefully is being helped by everyone knowing who you are.
Oh, 100-fold.
Right.
No, it's not even, it's 100-fold.
Right.
Like, it goes without saying. I mean, I can't go to the bathroom without taking a piss with someone wanting to snap my dick because of you, because of your company. So, I mean, if you said, fuck you, Stu, get the fuck out of here, you've made my life forever.
I would never say that.
But you have, though. So, in other words, it's grown immeasurably. Insurmountably. There's not even a word for what you've done for me. And truth be told, we've never actually really spoken about taking the next step in a room, really sitting down with a pen and pencil. It was I called you one day after smoking four blunts, and I said
a minimum $1 million a year.
Right. I mean, I smoked 2 blunts, and I said, I'm feeling fucking good. 5 years, $5 million, Dave. Can we roll with that? I need a $2 million signing bonus. Let's fucking go. And that was about the extent of it. You said, and I remember you said,
how do you move
Stu,
on from that?
You said, Stu, I've been on the phone with you for 15 fucking minutes, and all I hear is millions, millions, millions. How about
we were on the phone for longer than that, and it was everything is, but his number never came below 7 figures. Like, Stu, I love you. I gotta go. I got other things to do. We're not very close here. So,
Stu, if you had to guess,
shoot. I took a shot. You know what I'm saying?
If you had to guess how many X your business has grown since you came back in the fold with PMT and advisors, what would you guess?
100-fold. Like, in other words, you can't, it's insurmountable. I mean, I can't go anywhere without saying, how's Dave? Do you love Dave? This and that. It's unbelievable.
And it is an integrated ad. Like, if someone just came off the street, which we wouldn't probably allow, you have to fit perfectly with us. But they're like, we want to be actually part of one of your shows, but I'm actually going to be pitching my business on your show. That would be well into the 7 figures for somebody to do that. So to me, it's been a very good relationship for both.
No two ways about it. And it goes without saying. Like, in other words, you're never allowing someone to run 2 1-minute commercials on anything you do for under $1 million.
And more importantly, the commercials.
And the way I do it, no less.
You're part of the show. It's very
Sure,
authentic.
I'm part of this family here, And Dave, Dave allows me full access to the whole building at will. I mean, anywhere, anytime, any place. He doesn't, as long as I don't get in his way, I have full reign of this place like I own it. So it's, my attitude of gratitude toward this place is unbelievable. You know what I'm saying? It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Dave, are you pro the 15-15-30 method?
What's the 15-15-30?
15 minutes eating ass, 15 minutes licking clit, 30 minutes fucking. You can't hold your load, bring a vibrator. See, when I came to the company, my
15-15-30. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense on paper.
Thank you. And you know what it is? Like, when I came here, my audience before I restarted with you was 50, 60, 70, 80-year-olds, successful men and women that had multi-million dollars. Because a lot of the times, Eddie, what I charge is I charge insane amount of money because I'm only looking for people that could lose 50 or 100 grand a week, and it doesn't bother them. Right. It's like, okay, big deal. And when we win it, it doesn't matter because most people are just in it for the action. When I came here, your basic audience is 13 to 30-year-olds. So I figured I have to become relevant
I
besides
actually
being
think
funny.
that's not true. I think,
Okay.
I think we skew way older
Well,
than that.
oh no, I'd say in 2015. Now,
Are we talking for the people who come to you through us or our overall audience?
your audience to me was much younger than I was used to.
Got it.
As far as people paying
Sure,
me.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So in other words, I thought, what is relevant? And I thought, like, when I was young, my problems having problems with sex, because when you're young, sex is the key. Forget about drugs and rock and roll. Sex is everything. You know, when you're 12, when you're 13, and I remember the problems I had where, like, when I'd have sex, I'd come too quick. Thank God I got hard again, so that would work. So how can I help the
You
audience
put me in like an advisor's show sort of like a week before the advisor.
be relevant? So I came up with what helps for me. Well, if you eat ass and you lick clit before you fuck, then the woman's come several times. You're great in bed. And then if you can't hold your load, you got to vibrate. So I wanted to provide content, but substance to how I become relevant and helpful to the Barstool audience. And that's why I came up with 15-15-30.
Thank you, Stu. And well, you know, have you studied the tape on Dave? Do you have any pointers as far as that goes?
Eddie, Jesus Christ.
I wish I had his dick. B,
My
I
dick
wish I had his
hasn't
dick.
been-
And C, I wish I had his
My
dick.
dick hasn't been in any videos, so let's.
Well, I mean, listen, it doesn't need to be. You know, I can see it every day. You know, it's there. It's protruding. God bless you. May God be with you. Jews always have big cocks. Let me put it that way. It's just a fact.
Happy, Eddie?
I am, actually. All right. Stu, thank you. Steve Mahalik, RIP.
And we will be ready. Advisors, week 1 football season. Be ready to go.
Can't wait. I'm so excited.
The beginning of the long season. And we are going to, we should have done it last year. We're definitely now they get the sports book up. Every week there will be a boosted parlay with the 3 of our locks, me, you, and Dan.
Oh, that's awesome.
In the sports book.
That's awesome. And by the way, everyone loves the app. They
The
don't.
app's
No,
solid.
they don't like it. They love it, and they love the promos you give, and they love the giveaways. People love free.
Yeah.
You're giving away a giveaway. You're giving away a shirt. They feel part of you.
Good.
You know, part of the business, and you know, everyone loves it. By the way, because I push everybody. Where are you betting?
Yep.
If you're in a state that has you, I demand they have to play with you. I mean,
love
that's
it.
just the bottom line.
Thank you. Stu Feiner, ladies and gentlemen. All right, Eddie. Are we done?
Thank you, Stu. Yep, we're done.
Okay, Eddie. God bless you. I love you.
Thank you. Love you too, Stu.
But are you and I done, Eddie?
Oh, we got a little bit more.
Okay, all right.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I'm out?
Yep.
Okay.
See you next week.
It's an honor and a pleasure. God bless you, boss. Thank you.
It's the beginning. Football season is here. When Stu starts to see Stu rolling around the office, it means it's fall clanging and banging.
Let's go.
All right. Let's do Inside Barstool, but before we do, Dave, let's talk about Sliq. You like these freeze pops.
Yeah, Sliq, brand new, hard, yes, alcohol-infused freezer pop that is crafted with elevated flavors to inspire good times. Available in different premium spirit offerings, including rum and agave. 8% ABV, 100 calories or less, each naturally flavored Sliq Spirit Ice Pop tastes good, if not better than any daiquiri margarita you would be drinking. I got a whole freezer room, and actually both my places here in the city and in the Hamptons. Just know that once you Sliq, sipping will never be the same. To learn more, go to sliqspiritedice.com. This ad has been brought to you by 21 Holdings, LLC in West Chicago, Illinois. Must be 21 and up to purchase and consume. Please drink responsibly. Swap your typical summer cocktail or seltzer with Sliq Spirited Ice. Visit Sliq, SLIQ, spiritedice.com to learn more. Again, SLIQ, SPIRITEDDICE.com.
Boom. Go get some Labor Day weekend. I believe strawberry margarita is my favorite. I think you like that
Same.
one too, right? Dave?
Same. Yeah, I always end up liking the Reds, yes.
All right. Inside Barstool. Barstool's 18th birthday was this past week.
Yeah, crazy, right? I mean, I guess at this point, every birthday still. I don't get emotional when I post the things, but I write like something nice, and it is surreal. And I the whole thing, like you couldn't make it up. What's happened? Like I know how big we are at times, but at times I don't. And there's so much that wasn't done on purpose in the early days, but our audience and our crowd is so loyal. And someone sent me something, and I may be able to find it. Somebody was trying to find whether I invented the word smoke show, which I did. That's like Hardo. People who've just been doing this for so long. I know. I actually tweeted what the word meant. It was Miami Hurricanes coming out of the tunnel. I love the smoke. I pictured a pretty girl, smoke show of the day. And someone actually had Urban Dictionary, and the first time it's mentioned on Urban Dictionary is literally like right around when we started. It's from us. So I had a quote like, the best thing that we have going. I was basically at a crossroads. Somebody sent me an early paper. It's like, I'm making no money. We have nothing. But I can feel like our crowd growing, and everyone's like super loyal and passionate. And that's like the only thing that's giving me hope and a little bit different. And that loyal base has really let us be us, because I've never cared like, oh, we're going to lose advertising or people trap, because our base knows us and they stay true. And that has allowed us to be one of, I think, the few media places that, is still kind of true to the brand.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's why you did it, You felt comfortable making the jokes that you made because you knew, like, deep down people knew you, and, that was coming from a place.
There was a feeling, Eddie, and that I get it now. But, like, when I was making jokes, I was making them to the people in that Milton office. Like, no one's going to report you. Nobody's out to get you. It's like you're trying to make people laugh. It's not funny. You move on. But that was – and then it got a lot bigger, and obviously controversy at times has followed. But that's what it was meant to be, and that's what it was. It was not ever meant to, like, insult or anything. And, yeah, 18 years. I started it so I wouldn't hate my job. That's really the truth.
Yeah, you didn't even said. You said, we know we're not going to get rich off this.
I never dreamed that. How could anybody think you'd get rich off this shit?
Crazy, man. Crazy. All right, I mean, I assume there's got to be a big thing planned for 20.
We'll have to do something for 20. If you think we're planning now for 20, you don't know us very well. Like, I didn't know it was the 18th birthday till somebody tweeted it at me.
Yeah, so I guess put a pin in it August of 2023.
I guess start putting shit in my calendar, yes.
Also, yeah, speaking of that, the smoke patrol, it's kind of one thing that's went by the wayside that was like the best back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, we get killed for it now. Like, that's something you can't do now. But, yeah, if we saw a pretty girl in the crowd, we'd just be like, send out the smoke patrol, and we find out who she was pretty quickly.
Like, almost instantly. And it was just like the craziest thing.
It's crazy. They enjoyed it too. Like, there was no, like, they loved the attention.
We
but you still
smoked.
can't do it. And
I even said that because I guess this came about because Bachelor in Paradise, where somebody's like, I'm a smoke bro. And I always, it never gets mentioned, but everyone was like, oh, they're so sexist and this and that. It's like, dude, before anyone knew who we were, before anyone ever called us sexist, we had Stu Feiner and Barstool Sports doing the same thing. Jenna Marbles was doing smoke bro of the day every day. Like, but whatever, people come up with their own narratives.
Yeah, crazy. What's going on with Frank was right? Are the Mets, is Kevin and Clem like about to kill you or what?
Kill me. I mean, Kevin's the most miserable human in the world, and now suddenly he's Mr. Positive. It's bizarre.
Well, he finally found someone to level him out, I guess.
I think what happened is Frank out-Franked him. So it's like, he has nothing to do. Frank boxed him into a corner and turned him positive. Maybe you should thank Frank for that.
I think so. Rico Bosco's contract, I believe it runs out today. Paul was tweeting, said some nice words to Paul. What's going on?
Rico has a lifetime contract here. Does he have infinite raises when he can't commit to anything because he has unlimited oblos? No, but he has a lifetime contract. Where is he at? But the beauty of this situation, and people who think the whole thing's a work, it's fake. Me and Dan, just before he came on the show, Stephen Shea comes waltzing down from sales, looks at me and Dan, he goes, did Rico quit? I have to tell people. Stephen Shea, you think Rico quit? Like, now I'm not saying that Rico thinks he may quit, but Rico's never quitting. And the fact that Stephen Shea thinks he's quitting, you can't find these people anywhere. Like, Stephen Shea bought into Rico quitting. Rico not going to quit. He thinks he is. Like, it's insane that this happens every year, and he falls into, like, he's texting Dan and I on the side, more Dan, like, freaking out, Rico. He gave me his wife's phone number. He's like, you break the news. Dead serious. He's like, I don't have the heart to tell her.
So what's the?
And then
with
Shay
him?
falls for it, and then fucking Sausage walks by in full Balls Beachwear, and now you got to burn all the Balls Beachwear.
It's over.
He killed the brand. Sausage killed my hotel in Miami. He's trying to kill Balls Beachwear. How did he get his hands on that?
Tyler Day going away party. Were you invited? Did you go?
I was not. I found out about it. I was with Spider. He's like, you know what Tyler Days? I'm like, what? He's going away party that he threw for himself. Like he died. You chose to leave, bud, to go to cement.
I don't like how it ended with him and you. I don't. I got to be honest.
Why?
Well, it was too
embarrassing
good.
to get beat out by cement. He put your job and mine in jeopardy.
But it was a relationship that started at the bottom and just elevated so much,
Yeah,
and
back,
now
it's
it's just.
back down now.
What'd you say?
It's back down. It's back at the bottom floor.
It's upsetting. Coach Prime debuts.
Yep. I mean, I love Dion, so I've been watching it. It's a very good. Episode 2 was last night. I mean, I love Dion.
What's Brandon Walker canceled Walk the Line in wrestling?
He did?
What's going on with that?
I don't know.
Something about he's got a new show. He needs this for a new contract. It's more gambling, or you're not up to date on that?
No. I know he canceled it. I didn't hear the other stuff. I mean, listen, people can do what they want. I didn't want him to do wrestling in the first place. That was like a pet project he wanted to do. Kind of like what Rico wanted to do with Bench Mob.
Said he might bring it back, wrestling, later on. It's kind of like the dead season for WWE.
Got it.
Right now. But
yeah, it's like, where do you want to focus your time? That's up to each employee. And if that's what he said, to focus on gambling, on the walk the line sort of gambling, maybe things to get a better concept, do it. If you can prove you move the needle in gambling, there's a lot of money to be made here.
Okay, so this wasn't like something where you sat down with him and told him this or that?
From me.
Gotcha. Mush the Line launched as well, so that took over. Kirk Minahan's show spent $29,000 on a catering bill.
I heard about this. What? What? There's
So
a screw up or something?
that's Gaz's area.
These guys are running Milton like to the T. Like we would fuck that up a long time. We might fuck that up now.
What'd they do?
They did a show in Saco, and they got a caterer from Madawaska. Now Madawaska, if you were to do the math, it's like catering from somewhere from Montreal for Boston. That's how far you'd be having a catering. There's a kid intern who set it up for them and basically went on mental leave, which is.
That's Minahan Show 101.
Okay. So some balls got dropped. The new Cullinane went in, picked it up, and then didn't dot his I's or T's. Basically, the guy took him for $29,000. The text messages back it up. He's like, who's paying for it? Barstool. How many people? 1,000. Not getting an invoice before or anything like that. So the guy drove down. It was like an 8-hour drive. Brought 8 people. Spent 2 nights to put up and make like crab rolls. And no one had thought to ask when they were walking around. There was 1,000 people just eating. They're like, free food, free food. And then Kirk got the bill. Kirk got the bill.
They were like running around saying like, no, Barstool paid for it. It's all good. Like it's all free.
So yeah.
I mean, knowing Kirk, I'm assuming Kirk just like took it out or whatever. I mean,
that's why he was. He's like, the money. He's got money, but he was
right.
just like, it was the principle of how it all went down. But yeah, he's like, it comes out of my money.
Yeah, right.
It's costing me money. So they're actually doing another show to make up for it.
I mean, honestly, that's sort of on the caterer. Just like not.
Totally.
Like, why are you hiring somebody 8 hours away? Like what?
Well, he did the last one in Madawaska, and they reached out to him to do it. So that's,
yeah, but at some level, you gotta be like, yeah, but that's 8 hours away.
Yeah, no, they knew that.
And he never gave them a bill before.
Not before.
That's on him. I mean, that's.
Did you see the text exchange between the caterer and Dave? It was like catering for 1,000 people, confirm this, and all he said was confirmed, and that was it. Like, that was their exchange of business.
Right. I mean, it is on the caterer, and it's not. Like, it's idiot on our side, on Minahan, but if you're doing business honestly, you should be like, what are you doing?
Yeah, you can't just show up with a $29,000 bill.
Well, who hires a caterer like that far away? Nobody, because that's where all the costs and everything. It's nuts. I did see it. That's the first I've heard. It's very Milton-like. Paul's right.
Very, very funny. Very funny. And then Donnie swims the East River.
Yeah, I heard about that. I saw someone doing that the other day. That's just crazy to me.
Well, that's Donnie.
Why did he do it?
I think it was like a yak bit. I think he just said like he always wanted to do it, so he did it. All right, Dave, that's it. How are we feeling about the Koepka match now that this is, we're a week away?
I've been so fucking busy. I got to get out there one more day. I want to work on something. People, the most common thing I heard from my first swing, and I had like all these golf professionals like hit me up, is like I got to stand further away from the ball, and that's gonna make a huge difference. I just got to get out. I feel good, but I got to practice one more time.
All right.
And by the way, if you want to go to this match, it's at Liberty National. It's closed to the public. They did say we could do 1,000 tickets. There's an opt-in on the sports book. The first 450 people who place a $1,000 bet on anything get 2 tickets to attend.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
So wait, is it going to be streamed and everything too, or no?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, so we'll be able to watch. Do you know what the tee time or when it starts and
It's
everything?
early. It's like 9 or something. Yeah.
Okay, so look out for that next Tuesday. All right, anything else, Dave? Labor Day plans besides that? You going to Montauk?
I'm gonna head up to the Hamptons for the last weekend of the summer, basically.
Nice. All right, Dave. That's it.
All right.
Thanks everybody for listening. We'll see you next week.